Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim Chatatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Yogindra Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Madasya Padma Padam Chahasamalagam cha Sishyam Tam Todakam Vartikakara Manyan Asmat Gurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padam Bhujanmani Savila Samaha Moha Graha Grasai Kakan 6.272. Externally, there will be no significant change or difference one would see between a person of enlightenment or an ajnani. Then examples like Jata Bharata was posited by a Purvapakshi, saying that such a person lived without really doing anything in his life. So therefore, this knowledge only makes a person balahina, without any power to engage, because there is no desire. What makes an individual engage in action is a desire behind that action. We are all propelled by the desire, because of which we are so eager to complete the task, get the results of the action and enjoy it. That thought of joy that we will accomplish out of that action is what drives us. When that is not there, what will drive a person to act? Therefore, he will become balahinaha. So that's what it is said. And for that, the answer that is given is, if you consider that a person is going to be balahina, it's because of roga, not out of yoga. Because a person of tamas and a person of sattva, both of them look alike. Both of them don't do action. One because there is no desire, another because there is no willingness at all to, because desire is there still, but he wants that to be accomplished not by one's own self-effort. Sab log karo mera kaam. All of you do my action for me. Mere liye, apan ke liye karo sab. For me alone, everybody should act. But I will not give up my desire. Whereas a person of knowledge, because of lack of or absence of kama, there is apparently actionlessness, but there is a great, intense abidance in the highest joy. That's why Bhagavan Krishna says, Karmanya karmaya pashet, akarmanicha karmayaha, sabuddhiman manusyeshu, sayukta krishna karma krit. Buddhiman Manusheshu, a person of knowledge, he who sees action in actionless and actionlessness in the action. So, here, then Jadabharata was quoted there. Then he says, Chakshan Kridan Ratim Bindan Nitya Shroshir Na Kim Shrutim. Do not quote the Puranas where people like Jadabharata appear to be doing nothing, etc. as Bharadader Apravrittihi Puranokteti Chetada. Purane Ukta. In the Purana it is said, if you say that Jadabharata etc. are there, Apravrittihi, actionlessness. So for that answer is Kim Shrutim Ashroshi. Now, Kim, you have not heard the scriptures like Upanishads talk about the nature of a Jivan Mukta. They do engage in all activities, Kridan, Chakshan, Ratim Bindan, all actions which a normal human being would do, they do, but with a different understanding. Externally, there will be no difference at all. They also eat, they also walk, they also drink, they also do all activities. But their mind does not depend upon the external activities for their joy. Atmanya Atmana Tushtaha. So here, if you say Apravrittihi, Jadabharata did not do any action, etc., think about it logically. How did they survive? Khaya nahi, piya nahi, soya nahi. If they have not drunk water, I mean, they have not taken food, they have not slept. What do you mean, man? If you don't sleep for a few days, then you'll die because of the very fact that your body does not have any rest at all. So here in the next verse, he says clearly, Nahyaharadi samtyajya.
Nahyaharadi samtyajya.
One second, make sure that it is, yeah. Bharatatyastita kvachit.
Bharatatyastita kvachit.
Kashtapashanavat kimtu.
Kashtapashanavat kimtu.
Sangabhita udasate.
Sangabhita udasate.
Nahyaharadi samtyajya. Bharatatyastita kvachit. Kashtapashanavat kimtu. Sangamhita udasate. Aharadi santyajya. Giving up the food, etc. Bharata adyaha na stitaha kvachit. They cannot remain ever, no one, like Bharata, etc., without eating food, etc. Exaggeration is necessary in a literature. As I said in the last session also, if you watch this serial seriously, so all of them exaggerate emotions, right? Even in the Ramayana series, if you're watching, seriously watching. So Ravana, when the red, there'll be red light there. Sometimes they show the face with the redness and all those things, extra light fittings and all that. But they have to show that way to attract your attention. So also Puranas are about exaggeration of ideas to attract the attention. In any drama, any such kind of a presentation, it is necessary. And Gurudev used to be a Kathakali on the stage only. The way he would talk, and when he's explaining things, and he will purposely make sure that your attention is riveted there. Therefore, you cannot go anywhere else. You have to be in his presence. So, here, no one can remain like Bharata, etc., will ever without eating, etc. Aharadi santyajya. Na kvachit bharadadyaha stitaha bhavanti. It is not possible for them to exist. So it is said in the Puranas, obviously, to point out what is the nature of a Jivan Mukta, but that should not be considered as the valid quality of a man of realization. That is why we must go to the scriptures, Upanishad, etc. They are all direct account by the Mahatmas who have realized, enlightened, and they speak so spontaneously, effortlessly. Even Bhagavan Krishna, what does he say? Don't eat. Mita ahar. Yukta ahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Not he says mukta aharasya mukta cheshtasya. He didn't say that. Yukta ahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Don't overdo it, indulgent, nor you don't do it. No, don't eat, he didn't say. Overeat, he doesn't say. Don't sleep, he didn't say. Don't keep sleeping. That is also didn't say. Keep working, he did not say. As our Guruji used to say, work without rest and rest without work, both are useless. Work without rest will definitely deplete you. Rest without work make you useless. Both are necessary, rest as well as the work. So here, those are all given with a purpose. And kashta pashanavat kintu. So otherwise they will be like kashta. Kashta is a wooden stick. Pashana like a stone. Did they live like a stone or a wooden stick? That only doesn't need a food or eating or sleeping and drinking, etc. Even they need, but if they're like inert things, they are not inert. They are living beings. Jivan Muktas are all inert beings. They are like a stone or a wood. They are definitely living being, intelligently living, productively living, usefully living, and joyfully living, without having any external dependence. As much as they can sustain themselves without giving minimum disturbance to others, seeking very little from the world. That way they lived, and exaggeration is also there, but they cannot live like a wooden piece or a stone. Kashta pashanivat kintu. On the other hand, they never indulged so much, they remained detached, indifferent. Udasate. Udasate. Remained indifferent. Sangabhita. What is the reason for them to remain unattached to any worldly things? Because of, within quotes, fear of attachment. Sangasya bhita. Sangasya bhi. Bhi means, bhita means, bhiti means the fear. Fear of attachment. Now one would say, why should they have fear of attachment? Yes. See, the thing is, a siddha does not have any fear. A person who has accomplished, there is no fear. Whereas a person who is completely a bogi also no fear. Is it not? Are you afraid of objects of the world? Huh? No. Why? Because they are the source of your joy. You are not afraid. You are so attached to all of them. Who has a bhiti? One who is still unsure about the highest joy. At the same time, he knows that the temporary ones can cause bondage. Such a sadhaka, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita also, kurmongani va sarvashaha indriyani indriyasya arte asangaha. So they withdraw their limbs, their attention from the world of objects, just like a kurma does when it meets with a dangerous animal around. Why it is portrayed there like that? Because Sangapita. Sang ही बंधन का कारण है. Attachment is the cause of bondage. So at the time when a person is perfecting oneself to become the recipient of the highest bliss which is within, for the sake of availability of all the faculties and the mind and the senses to continuously abide in the higher self, one will practice withdrawal. For one knows by understanding connection or attachment to the world of objects can only cause sorrow. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shida ushna sukha dukkadaha agama payino anityaha tanti dikshasva. So be aware that any attachment, contact with the world can create joy, sorrow, causing likes and dislikes, etc. Yehi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaha. Men of wisdom do not indulge in them because any contact finally gives sorrow. Either they don't last long or you don't last long. They will disappear, they will fail to give you any more joy because they by themselves are being limited. So, Sangabitaha udasate, te udasate, they remain indifferent, knowing that how the attachment can cause great bondage. So they remain detached for that reason. So that is explained in the next verse. Sangihi badhyate loke
Sangihi bhadyate loke
nisanga sukhamashnute
Nisanga sukhamashnute
tena sanga parityajya
Tena sanga parityajya
sarvada sukhamicchata
Sarvada sukhamicchata
Sangihi badhyate loke nisanga sukhamashnute tena sanga parityajya sarvada sukhamicchata. Loke, in this world, sangihi badhyate, passive. Sangi, a person who is attached in this world in any form, in anything, whether a human being, not human, living beings, is it not? Why then all the Mahatmas are so fond of the animals, etc.? You know, because they are prophets. Anyway, Sangi. No, they are not attached to the animals, but they see the Atman in everything, so they are not. But some people are attached. Attachment he, sangi he. Those who are sangaha yasya asti iti sangi. Sangi means one who is attached. He, such a person alone, loke badhyate, is bound. And at the same time, nisangaha, absence of attachment, sukhamashnu, singaha purushaha, sukhamashnute. A person of detachment is definitely having a greater joy. You know, we think the joy is in attachment. Many people ask this question also. So, how to give up attachment? Just asked yesterday also there was that question and I answered it. See, when the child is attached to the parents, right? Because it cannot live independently, its needs are to be fulfilled. So, child is attached to parents for the sake of being, for the reason being that their needs have to be fulfilled by the parents only. Parents are attached to the children. For what reason? For their joy. Right? For their joy they are attached. So, attachment in nature is dependence. Attachment is by nature dependence. The child depends on the parents for it needs to be fulfilled. Parents depend on the child for their joy. Interesting thing is, when the child grows to become an adult or a teenager, he doesn't need anything. The parents, meaning, now I can do anything. So he goes away. The parents do. So understand that point. So long as you are attached to anything due to demand of joy, you will be miserable. So their dependence continues. The child dependence no more. It terminates at some point of time, right? Once that fellow becomes independent, bye. So nisangaha sukhamashnute. So therefore, tena, due to that reason, sangaha parityajyaha. Attachment should be given up sarvada. If you want sukhamichata purushaha, sukhamichata, due to the desire for, see, interesting thing is, sangha is also for desire. Giving up is also for happiness. Attachment is also for happiness only. If you want sarvada sukham, if you want always joy, then it is nisanga. Alpa sukham sangha. Alpa sukham badnati. Nitya sukham moksham dadati. So the eternal joy which is coming out of detachment takes you to freedom. Limited joy for a limited time coming out of attachment binds you there. So this is to be understood why some characters that are shown, or there are highlights of detachment given in the various stories that are there, that has been explained only to show that Sangabhita, that is why he's explained that. What is the Sangabhita? Bandhanam eva Sangabhita. So the fear of attachment is that which causes the bondage. So until you understand the core of the scriptures, one will not recognize that Jivan Muktatva is so internal, so much in the process of thinking, in the understanding, in the elevation of consciousness, in living in that awareness, and not anything merely external. This should be understood clearly. So don't go by the external apparatus or the form or the external appearance of a person to understand the wisdom that he or she possesses. So, Ajñātvā Shāstra Hridayam Mūಢo Vaktyanyatanyatā Mūrkhānām nirnayasvastvāstāṃ Asmat siddhanta uchyate. Ajñātvā Shāstra Hridayam Mūಢo Vaktyanyatanyatā Mūrkhānām nirnayasvastva Asmat siddhanta uchyate. Shastra Hridayam Ajñātvā. Shastrasya tattvam ajñātva na jananti mūdaha. Mūdaha ajñātva. A foolish person, a deluded individual, not understanding the core of the Shastra. the very important tattva of the knowledge has to be acquired, assimilated, understood, meditated upon, and practiced. So here, ajñātva here does not mean merely not reading. It is not assimilating, not understanding, not living up to it. Ajñātva shāstradiyam mūdo vatti. Mūdaha vatti. Mūdaha vadati. Mūdaha, a man of no correct understanding, aviveki, vatti means he says. Anyata, anyata. Anyata means here something and something he says. Meaning not relevant, not appropriate, not clear. They say anything that they want. And people go by that. That is another problem. One person was there, never spoke for 15 days, Mahatma ban gaya wo. Kyun? Nahi bolta hai. Finally they understood he cannot speak. Those people can be fooled by so easily. And he also took advantage of it. Okay, fine. Everybody is Mahatma, I think. Okay, he just put more Rudrakma. Mahatma. Kyun? Pata de nahi. So merely by just some kind of one's own fanciful thinking, such people have started to interpret the Shastra also according to their own whims. So understanding the Shastra Hridayam, the core understanding, the correct understanding which is given to us by traditional teachers, because that is passed on. See, what is in the book can be interpreted by anybody in any ways. The correct way of understanding is what is called tradition. Because the Mahatmas who lived and proved that it is right, they give the correct interpretation of it. Otherwise, just read, if I am a Sanskrit scholar, I can also say anything. Why do we need to go through the Bhashya and other things, making sure that that is the right way of saying things? And wonderful thing is, if they don't know the language, oh, wonderful it will be. They will say, Vaktyani Atanyata. They can interpret that also. What is that? That is according to me, that is how it is to be done. Swadvannam natu yachatam. You know, that way I always say that. Swadvannam natu yachatam vidivashat praptena sandushyata. If you don't know correctly interpret it, praptena sandushyata. Actual meaning vidivashat praptena, whatever comes to you by vidhi, by prarabdha, sandushyata. Be content with what comes to you. You can also interpret it. Prapte na sandushyata. Whatever comes to you by vidhi, don't be content with that. So how do you, if you don't understand the context, so you can interpret the way you want. So, ajñātva shastra hridayam, without understanding the essence, tattva of that shastra, mūdaha, deluded person, vatti, says, speaks, interprets, anyata, various different ways. So, mūrkārnām nirnayaha, he goes to with a stronger word, these foolish fellows. Nirnaya, their determination, their understanding, their opinion, their definition or explanation, let it be astu. What is the mūrkārnām nirnaya astu? What is that nirnaya there? A person of knowledge or sattva looks weak, useless, unproductive. Because as I said, that a sattvic person also would not engage in action out of absence of desire. So they will look like a person like tamas. So what do they come to conclude? Actually, knowledge makes you tamas. Tamasic. Tamas and sick. You are tamasic. Makes you so therefore don't. Vedanta पढ़ रहे हो क्या हुआ? So Vedanta पढ़ के आप become useless in this world. मत पढ़ो. Retire होने के बाद करो. Anyway, you're useless at that time. So after retirement, you read anything, nothing you can do anyways. So that time you can read. Not now. This kind of interpretations or misunderstanding, when it is there, so let them be there. That is their murkhanam nirnaya. Murkhanam nirnaya astu asmat siddhanta uchyate. So astu nirnaya, their determination, let it be. Astu asmad siddhanta uchyate. Now our understanding is different from the same scripture only. So murkanam nirnahyutu astam means let it stop there. Nirnayaha tu astam. Astam means may it stop. Asmat siddhanta uchyate, but our understanding is different. So let that be stopped there at this point. Let us not proceed further in trying to justify what we thinking about. Now we'll move to next topic. That's what it means. Now let us take another topic now, which is according to the traditional Vedantic interpretation. Now, opening up a new topic, this will continue until the end. Now, how to understand the Shastra Hridayam? Now, he explained that Ajñātva Shastra Hridayam. He said that without knowing the essence of the scriptures. Now, how to understand the essence of the scriptures? What is the core sadhana? What are the important sadhanas that a person who is seeking liberation should clearly understand by studying the Shastra? This is a very important portion where he is going to explain the sadhana. Continuing here, Vairagya bodho paramaha.
Vairagya bodho paramaha.
Sahayaste parasparam.
Sahayaste parasparam.
Prayena sahavartante.
Prayena sahavartante.
Viyujyante kvachit.
Viyujyante kvachit.
Vairagya bodho paramaha. Sahayaste parasparam. Prayena sahavartante. Viyujyante kvachit. Three important sadhanas are pointed out here, which are essential for us to recognize or understand Shastra clearly. Study of scriptures can be done by anybody, but without these three important things, it will not serve the true purpose. First one is Vairagya, dispassion. Second is Bodha, true knowledge, understanding. And Uparamaha, withdrawal of the mind and the senses and keeping in that condition. Shama, withdrawal of the mind. Dhamma, withdrawal of the senses. But when they become completed, Shama and Dhamma, that becomes Uparama. Uparama is a culmination of maturity of Shama and Dhamma. Now, they are not independent. They parasparam sahayaha. They parasparam. Mutually, they support each other. Vairagya, Bodha and Uparama. Dispassion, knowledge, and self-discipline or withdrawal. Self-control, so to say. These three are, when it is said complementary to each other, supporting each other, what does it mean? It means when Vairagya is there, it supports knowledge and withdrawal. When withdrawal is there, it supports Vairagya and knowledge. When knowledge is there, it supports Vairagya and withdrawal. All the three, they are parasparam sahayaha. So, in general, prayena sahavartante, they remain together. All the three remain together. In fact, that when a Mahatma, when a man of true knowledge is there, you will evidently see these three in them. Detached they are, they may interact with many people, they may engage in many things, but there is a thread of withdrawal, you will see them in them. They just like that, they can withdraw. There is no hesitation, or there is no unhappiness in their withdrawal. No, nahi chahiye. The ability to just let go without any feeling of bad or feeling of hesitancy or feeling lost, or when they are able to withdraw, they are withdrawing with themselves to the self, and therefore there is no anxiety or unhappiness. And that withdrawal is also out of knowledge only, not because external circumstances have decided that. Yes, it is not smashana vairagya. And the dispassion is because they don't have a desire in that. Not because of bhaya or bhiti, before, as he said. It's not fear. Fear of attachment is not. It is clear understanding of that being unnecessary in their life. So, sprayena sahavartante, kvachit viyuchyante. But in some people, they don't come together. Some people will have vairagya, but no knowledge. That dispassion is out of bitterness. Some people are dispassionate. Why? Kuch nahi chal raha hai. Chhod do sabko. I want to leave it. Why? Kuch nahi chal raha. Nothing is happening. Everything I try, nothing works. Sannyas le raha hu. So you take to renunciation because you are failure. Out of bitterness, out of failure, out of incompetency, not able to withstand the situations. So vairagya will be seen in a person, but not supported by knowledge. When the situation turn around, vairagya chhod. Vairagya or avairagya, त्याग कर लिया मैंने. Vairagya we also renounced. Some people have knowledge but no vairagya. That's scholarly. Knowledge is there, but that is not supported by expression of that knowledge through dispassion. Still attached, still indulged, still wants name and fame. Oh, my name is not put there. Kyun? What is the problem? My name should be there, my picture should be there, my this should be there, my that. So there is so much of insistency. My name is not called, my name is not, I am not appreciated. In सेवा करने से भी तो appreciate होना चाहिए बस में. Such kind of, so what knowledge has given? Nothing. So knowledge has not helped the person to understand the impermanence of things. And the higher nature of abidance in the self alone can be there for a real joy. That being not there, one is still not having any vairagya. Knowledge may be there. Some may withdraw from the world out of fear without having bodha or vairagya also. Because of fear. A child also has got fear of things. Maha yogi hai wo. Kya yogi hai? The fear is out of, the withdrawal out of fear. Something will happen, therefore I withdraw. So, therefore, kvachit viyujyante. They disconnect from each other in some occasions. Prayana, in general, they are together. Sahavartante. Now, this is going to be taken up very, very carefully. This is a very interesting point, as I told you. In the tradition of Vedanta or tradition of scriptural understanding, how to determine a nature of a thing, how to explain anything. This is a secret only the men who have studied correctly under correct teacher would know it. How to explain anything in the world. So here is the beautiful pointer. हेतुस्वरूपकार्याणि भिन्नान्येषामसङ्करः यतावत् अवगन्तव्यः शास्त्रार्थं प्रविविच्यता हेतुस्वरूपकार्याणि भिन्नान्येषामसङ्करः यतावत् अवगन्तव्यः शास्त्रार्थं प्रविविच्यता. शास्त्रार्थं प्रविविच्यता avagantavyah. Avagamanam is to know, to understand. Gam is to go. Gam gacchati. When you put upasarga ava means to understand. Come to understand. Why don't we say that? Gam is to go. Agamishyati or agamanam is to come. Avagamanam is to come to understand. Don't we say, oh, I came to understand. Where did you come? So the word coming is there. Similarly, avagamanam is to know. Avagantavya, to understand, to be understood. What? Shastrartham avagantavya. The shastrasya artham, as it is said, shastrasya hridayam. So, if you want to understand Shastra, you should understand in this way. By whom? Prabhivichyata, those people who are wanting to have clarity in knowing. In clarity of knowing anything, yatavat avadagantavya, as it is. Yatavat shastrartham avagantavya. Yatavat means as is. As is, to understand the Shastra, one should do this method. What is that? Hetu swarupa karyani binnani. Binnani, different from each other. What is that? Hetu, swarupa and karya. Karyam being neuter, but therefore the compound became neuter. Karyam, karya, karyani. Phalam, phale, phalani. Go back to Sanskrit. So, Hetu Swarupa Karyam, these things. Hetu means the source, the cause, the origin, the seed, the starting point. Swarupa means nature, characteristics, features, functions. Karya means benefit, prayojana, phalam, result, accomplishment. Now, in anything you take to explain, first of all, you understand the source. Let us say a pot is there. You want to understand a pot. What is a pot? First of all, you should understand it comes from mud. This is the hetu. Karanam, source, seed, origin, Cause. If you understand the cause, you pretty much understand what it is. What it is, you will understand from knowing its source. So that is how the science explains, right? This is a scientific method of understanding anything. Science explains everything from the standpoint of where it came from first. What is the source? And even if you go to a doctor and he was to find what caused this problem, he will look at the symptoms, etc. But what is the cause? Without knowing the cause, you cannot treat. You treat symptomatically, but that will be temporary. Symptom treatment is very temporary, but the original problem is not solved. So you go to the source. What is the cause of this problem? A2. Then how is it behaving? A pot, what is the pot? It's a shape of the mud. That is its nature. It accommodates space or it accommodates things inside. It has a particular formation. So the swarupa of anything, that nature of a thing, the characteristics of a thing. And the last part is, how is it useful to you? So when you are speaking on any subject, start from what is your source and what is that you are trying to explain and how the person who is listening to you will benefit out of it. Otherwise, what is the point? If I tell something which is of no use to you, you will not be interested to know. So in the beginning itself, why am I telling you this? That you will benefit out of it. Now let me tell you what it is. So that's how you start. In any advertisement also you will find, why do I want it? If it is not helpful to you, why do I even think about it? So they want to show you that Bahamas, you go and have a vacation. First they will say, you will be lying like this on the sands of this ocean sand. Think, imagine, where is it? Bahamas. So you go from where, first of all, attract the attention of the person. This is what you want to be. Yes, then. What you should do? Pay $10,000. Swarupa. Heduswarupa karyani pinnani esham asankara. So this needs to be clearly understood. First one is the hestu, karanam. Second one is the what cause? Second is swarupa, the function or the very nature, and then third is the karyam. Karyam is this effect in the form of prayojan. So this needs to be clearly determined, asankara. And so it is said here, origin, nature, result, these were binnani. So it is very clear, should be very clear to an individual. Asankaraha. Sankaraha means mixture. Asankaraha means without any mixture, without any confusion, without any ambiguity. It should be clarity must happen. Therefore, it has to be yatavat avagantavya, to be understood as it is. Shastra artham pravivichyata, by a person who wants to distinguishingly understand the aspects. Which means what? The root word of viveka. Vivicyatam. Vivichya, having clearly differentiated. That's why we ask which meaning what? Which is what? That when we ask, that means viveka. That means what is what. That needs to be understood correctly. Now it's very interesting how he goes to proceed on this. Usually what we see towards the end, he will just try to complete the job. But here is where the important point comes. This is how you should understand. So it's elaborated so well here. Now let us understand, starting from Vairagya. Because he said three things are important: Vairagya, Bodha and Uparama. Uparama basically means withdrawn state of mind which is quiet and peaceful. Shama Dama helps the state of Uparama. Uparama also means Antarrati, inner joy or quietness, placidness or mind present within oneself without getting drawn by the senses or the mind. That's called Uparama. So, Vairagya, Bodha, Uparama, these three are the most important practices. Now, what is the Hetu of Vairagya, Swarupa of Vairagya, and Karya of Vairagya? These three need to be understood first. Then you'll go to what is the Hetu of Bodha, Swarupa of Bodha, and also Karya of Bodha. Then you'll go to what is the Hetu of Uparama, Swarupa of Uparama, and Karya of Uparama. That will complete the entire process. Now you'll start with Hetu. Hetu of Vairagya. Dosha drishtir jihasa cha
Dosha drishtir jihasa cha
punarbhokeshvadhinata
punarbhogeshvadhinata
asadharana hetvadya
asadharana hetvadya
vairagyasya trayopyami
vairagyasya trayoyami
dosha drishtir jihasa cha punarbhogeshvadhinata asadharana hetvadya vairagyasya trayopyami. Ami, these, trayaha. These three, or these three what? Will be explained, these three things. Asadharana hetu adyaha. Hadyaha, origin, etc. Of what? Vairagyasya. Vairagyasya hetu adyaha asadharana hetu. Unique features, unique sources. Unique source or karana of vairagya are three. The origin of determines understanding that first of all is what is the hetu, what is the cause, what causes vairagya. First, dosha drishti. Seeing the defect of the object from which you want to detach from. Dosha drishtir muhur muhu. Again and again one should look at what is that which is the dosha. See, this dosha drishti does not mean you become negative. Everything has a guna and dosha. But one should look at, if a person wants to get detached from something, one should see what is the dosha in that. What is that it can cause trouble to you? Why do I get detached from anything? See, as I said, the attachment is also out of desire for that object. Detachment is also desire for a greater happiness. Mukti. Anyway, desire you cannot avoid. Desire is there, whether it is for limited things or unlimited things. That's a question. If you are looking for unlimited joy, then you have to see the limitation of that object. So the first one is dosha drishtihi. Dukkha dosha anudarshanam, that is given by as a value in 13th chapter. Dukkha dosha anudarshanam. It is said as the one of the values in the chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita. Putradara grihadishu dukkha doshanu darshanam. Dosha darshanam. So that is the first hetu. Then second one is jihasa. Hatumicha. Jihasa. Desire to give up. That is a second hetu. Jihasa means where there is a desire to give up that will happen only when the first one is accomplished. When you see the dosha, when you see the defect, no, I do not want it anymore. Hatumicha. No, I don't need it. Gulab Jamun may be in front of you. So then, what is the dosha in that? I don't see any dosha, Swamiji. This will increase because your father and grandfather, great grandfather, mother and grandmother, everybody has got diabetes. This can definitely give you dosha. One is okay, right? No. One will not stop in one. That is a problem. Advaitam is never practiced in our life. Bahuda is only that, Dvaitam also. Bahutvam only. See, ek mein, no, you will not. Morning one, evening one. So when there is dosha drishti, then there is jihasa. Jihasa means hatumicha, the giving up, desire to give up. Jihasa. And third one is bhogeshu adhinata. No more dependence on that desire, object of pleasure. Bhogeshu adhinata. Dhinata means to depend on that. Adhinata. No more dependence on that object for my happiness. No more desire to own or indulge and enjoy that object for my happiness. So this punaha word is here. Punaha means again. Again means remember this again and again. Nari stana baranabhi desham drishtva maga moha vesham etan mamsavasadi viharam manasi vichintaya varam. Every varam, every week you have to remember. Not varam, varam does not mean in Tamil means varam means 1 week. Every week you should remember. Nah. Varam means muhur punah punah drishti. Punah punah dosha drishti. Punah punah jihasa. Punah punah adhinata. That is a practice. Again, again, again. Only when you do it again and again, there will be a gain. Those who didn't understand, I cannot help you. Right? Gain will be there only you do it here. When you do it again, again, again. Punah punah drishti. This is asadharana hetu. Vairagyasya asadharana hetu, meaning unique nature of, because it has to be unique. A mud part is different from gold part because the hetu is different. So, not the worldly ways. The worldly ways are not like this, right? Dosha drishti. Who tells you the dosha drishti? Dosha drishti, you will say, no? Dosha drishti is fine, but the dosha drishti is. Oh, dosha may be dosh dekhna hai. No, one, not more than that. Only one. Not more than that. Not necessary. It is only breaking the fast. Right? So you go on and on and on. It doesn't the two, three, or the four, the masala ke saath, chutney ke saath, it goes on. It never ends. Anyway, so punaha punaha dosha drishtihi, punaha punaha jihasa, punaha punaha bhogeshu adhinata e adyaha asadharana hetu. These are all considered as the distinct causes for vairagya. Peculiar to attachment. Vairagyasya ayam trayah. These three. Ami. So that we'll see more of that in the next session. Om सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ